People. So I just got back.
At this time, call 18 regular Senate meeting of order. Starting out with our student forum announcements. Is there any student forum or announcements for tonight? If not, we move on to calls for changes to the order of the day. Are there any calls for change? There are no calls for change. We move on to approval of last meeting's minutes. Is there a second? With that, last meeting's minutes are approved. On to our first special business of the night, our condition of the student body by President. Now item up.
Thank you, Speaker Christina, for that introduction. Hello, Panthers. My name is Krutsinger, and I currently serve as a 2023-2024 student body president for Northern Iowa Student Government. Looking back at what all NISG members have accomplished, I can tell you it has been a great fall semester advocating for the student body. Let's look back at what all we've accomplished and what may be coming up ahead as we head to the end of our terms in April. For the past 3 to 4 years, members of Northern Iowa State Government have been partnering with the Office of Compliance and Equity Management to implement an optional bystander awareness training program called Green Dot. Since its official launch in fall of 2022, over 350 UNI students, faculty, and staff have learned how to intervene as a bystander for gender violence prevention. We encourage everyone to take this training by signing up at greendot.uni.edu. For the past few years, NIH has also funded an initiative called the Let's Talk program, where students can receive confidential support from trained graduate students. This program has been used as a way for students to talk to someone without having to schedule an appointment or and without fully talking to a therapist if they choose not to do so. Although Green Dot and the Let's Talk program have been funded by NISG in the past, I'm happy to say we work with the Office of Compliance and Equity Management, the Student Health Center, and the Graduate College have identified some potential university funds that no longer require the approval of NISG to ensure these programs continue to be offered to the student body for years to come. I'm also proud to say that this past summer, we also had members of student government partner with the athletics marketing team to work on bringing back a student-run student section called Panther Mayhem. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Panther Mayhem started to dwindle and slowly became non-existent at our athletic events. It was starting to be clear that something was missing in the atmosphere of UNI's athletic events. Now, after the reestablishment of Panther Mayhem this year, students have been able to enjoy an exciting experience while attending athletic events on our campus. Another initiative I'd like to quickly highlight is the menstrual chronic initiative being worked on by our chief staff, Trina Tunjan, Senator Anna Siegelstead, and many volunteers. This initiative was previously carried on by our former Director of Public Relations, Caroline Christensen, and former Senator Emily Paul. As of right now, we can find tampons and pads in the women's restrooms of over 16 buildings on campus, with more hopefully coming in the future. I'd like to give a huge thank you to the student volunteers who put in the time to make sure these restrooms are stocked with menstrual products, and to the members of student government who approved the funding for these products each year. As you can see, the members of NISG have worked tirelessly on initiative after initiative to make the student experience on our campus better, safer, and more inclusive for all. Although all of their hard work cannot be mentioned in this message, it does not go unnoticed. I'm also looking forward to everything else our members will work on before our end of our terms in April. With the 2024 Iowa legislative session now beginning, I'd like to feature the work our Director of Government Relations, Noah Hackmark, is doing with the legislative liaison team. As you may know, when Liz and I ran for student body president, one of our platform pillars was balance, where we focus on the well-being of the students on our campus. During last year's Iowa legislative session, NIH's legislative liaison team successfully advocated for the passage of the counseling compact, which makes licensure across state lines easier and increases availability to telehealth options. This year, Liz, Noah, and I have worked with the student governments from the University of Iowa and Iowa State University, as well as members of the Board of Regents, to request $1 million for more mental health initiatives on our 3 campuses. If passed by the state legislature this spring, NIH hopes to use portions of the funds to go towards TELUS, a new 24/7 confidential telecounseling app, as well as getting our campus JED certified through the JED Foundation. These 2 items, in addition to the other resources of the Counseling Center, will provide greater support to the student body. With the recent bills coming from the state legislature last year and resulting DEI recommendations from the Board of Regents this past November, NISG understands students may have concerns about what diversity, equity, and inclusion may look like on our campus in the upcoming years. Although we don't know what the future holds on our campus for DEI services on our campus, NIHG is committed to making sure the student voice is being heard throughout this entire process. We have our student body vice president, Elizabeth Montalvo, and our director of government relations, Noah Hackbart, sitting on the university's DEI task force, where they are working with university faculty, staff, and administrators on how to go about this process. We want to make sure that your voice is heard. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns. I want to remind you that the care and well-being of our peers is the utmost priority. And the commitment we have to support all students will not change, no matter what occurs in the upcoming months. A lot of the work NIHG does is making sure students' voices are being heard, and that you are being supported by the university. Therefore, we welcome anyone from any background to also be a part of student government. If you are interested in joining, consider running for a Senate seat or applying for a director position this spring. Informational means on how to run have already begun, with campaigning set to start on February 12th and voting set to be on February 27th and 28th. But it's not too late to get involved. You can check out our social media platforms, check your inbox for an email from our election commissioner, email him directly at nihg-chiefjustice@uni.edu, go to our website, nihg.uni.edu to learn more, or stick around for the report that you'll be getting later this evening. NIHG is always here for you and is ready to advocate for you, so do not be afraid to reach out. We hope you have a great semester, and as always, go Panthers. Thank you.
Move on to our report of the judicial, our Chief Justice. Oh, wait, no. Moving on to our Director of Governmental Relations report. By Noah Hack.
This is pop, I spilled pop, that's what it is. It's just that to say that. Good evening, everyone. Let me give you a report, right at the beginning of the legislative session, so I'm also giving all the first few, this semester, because there's lots going on in the legislative session and we'll only need one trip, so we're going on.
No,
You don't need to record, you just use share screen,
That's what I meant.
make it bigger.
It's the recorded file.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, we had a first trip to Des Moines yesterday. Where we go on Wednesdays, we only had one, I think the second week, you know, going down the first week is overwhelming and it's very early on still in the session, although we are getting a few weeks out from the first funnel, which for those of you who don't know what that is. I believe that's when certain bills die. If a bill isn't, I think it's if a bill isn't out of one chamber and a committee in another, then the bill automatically dies. And then at a certain point, you cannot introduce any more new legislation. You can amend stuff and put it in other bills, but in terms of subcommittees for bills, those are done after a certain point. So we're getting towards the first funnel, but we still got a few weeks to go. Yeah. If you want to see pictures from our first trip, you can go over to our Instagram. We met with quite a few legislators, few senators, few representatives, met with the Senate President again, actually got to speak on the floor of the House of Representatives with the Assistant Minority Leader. So you're definitely getting out there, meeting with both parties, different individuals, and talking about our mental health request, which is our biggest thing. I talked a little bit about that in his condition of the student body address. And I want to mention that you want to get at the Capitol this month. So if you want to go, please fill out that form. You know, I'm letting all of you know first so that as student government people, you have a chance to fill that out. I already let Katie know, we'll get it on the website, we'll start, which I think I reach out to all the deans and department heads and let them know it's open to all students. And if you go to the form, all the details are on there, so I'm not going to get into that. But that just tells you when the form is going to close, how long you have. I think it's about 2.5 to 3 weeks you have. Just so that we can get some numbers finalized for food and name tags and things. But it's on March 5th this year from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a really good opportunity for you to meet local legislators if you're around. And again, we want students from all different programs to go. You don't need to be political science, you don't need to be in that area. We can, and that's great. But just make sure you fill it out. The bus cap, we cap at 50 because we have room for instruments and food and things. And we want to make sure students are comfortable. So if you really want to know, we're going to be going for the day. We can provide all kinds of things, but we'll have name tags, like you said, food. You just ask that you dress, you know, business casual, and normally I try to get some pins or something that says you and I or something like that. So it's a really cool day. We really do try to meet our legislators. I'll send you all sign up in email who your state senator and state representative is, and I'll just say, reach email them, tell them we're going to be there on this day during this time, and see if they can come down and meet with you. Otherwise, I can, on the day, take you upstairs and we can see if they're in chambers and try to summon them up. It's a cool opportunity. State House is really neat, and we're going to have a really good session, so I can just tell. We talked, like I said, about our mental health funding priorities, the TELUS and Jet Foundation. Had some good conversations about that. Okay. That's it. Okay. City Council update. Attended my first City Council meeting of the year on the 16th. The new council had actually taken their seats prior to that. So they already had one meeting, but it's still pretty fresh. They had a work session over College Hill. There's been a lot of questions about development. Talk to you all about development of College Hill, possibly readopting the College Hill Vision Plan or portions of it. The City Council is thinking about doing that. There's new members, so the new members are definitely interested in that. The concerns continue to be, it's too big, or you know, what portions can we take out of the plan? It's my sense that they may readopt it and then pick out certain pieces. They got into a long discussion about what receive and file means versus what adopting the plan means. You can receive and file it as a report, and then you decide whether or not to adopt the plan from there, and that's sort of where the council was having their discussions. And so they had a work session, and then they went into their full council meeting. I talked a little bit about lighting. I know in the campus safety walk, something we talked with regents about at our student breakfast. There's some areas of town around campus that students may want some more lighting in, you know, campus, College Street, Murder Avenue, campus street, that area, West 23rd, near Bartlett on that street right there. Those neighborhoods are where a lot of students live, if they're not over on the other side of Hudson Road in the development. So we just want to make sure that they feel safe getting home. So I did bring up that continues to be something that we hear from students is lighting. So as you look at development on the hill, look at lighting. So that would be interesting too. A new council dynamic with new members and a new mayor, they're sort of just getting their groove, and it'll be interesting to see what things they want to focus on. Like I said, the Hill seems to be one of those things. They have a work session just for it. And then on Friday, there will actually be a legislative joint session with the council with local legislators. When they're done for the week in Des Moines, they'll come back down. It'll be at City Hall, and they'll meet with the city council, talk about what the legislative session is going to look like. Last year, the rollback rates affected revenues for the city, so that's just an example of how the two really interact quite a bit. The result of that miscalculation by the city was that the city ended up losing $400,000 from its general fund. So things like that make a difference. Even though that wasn't technically a bill, it was a correction that the legislature had to make through the Department of Management that affected the city budget. Not a great situation, but that's just the way that it is, because Cedar Falls has such a high residency rate rather than residency to business ratio. A lot of houses that's paid. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of things come together, and we'll hear more. The city has its state lobbyists, and then obviously the legislators themselves will talk, depending on who shows up and who comes. Yeah, okay. The regions had their mid-year evaluations at their latest meeting. They approved new decisions a few meetings ago. And they did a closed door session for evaluating the President Boston and President Patterson. So we don't know what happens in there because it's closed door. I assume it went well. Talked about a little bit about the DEI advisory committees. We talked about that as groups. I'm not going to get into that, but I'll just get into we've been meeting regularly, like Lincoln's plan, and should be some more information about the final report is to be given by the institutional heads late March, early April. Yeah. Sorry guys. Yeah. And we're working with the regions on getting that meeting scheduled with the governor's office. Our requests through the regions did not make it into the governor's budget recommendation. Now, that doesn't mean it will pass, but what tends to happen with the legislature is much of that does end up passing the legislature. It's sort of a framework, although again, they can appropriate the monies that they want to. Doesn't mean they will, it just means they can. So we'll push the legislature for that. Hopefully, if that gets in the legislature's request, the governor signs that. Again, all hypotheticals as of now, but that's certainly something we're still working on, even though it wasn't in her recommendations. Unfortunate, I guess what it is, we just have to continue to go down and talk about how we need those resources. Mental health is not going to go away. The crisis is not going to go away. And my philosophy of approaching legislators is we can either deal with it or we can keep pretending it doesn't exist. But the second one doesn't do anybody any good. And it's something we can work on and collaborate on. It's an easy thing to come together on. It should be anyway. So we'll keep working on that. I'll keep working on that, and we'll see where we get with it. And more to come as we try to get a meeting, working with the region's office to get a meeting, but we've worked here and there to get that too. So big thank you to the open house attendees 2 days ago. It was a great turnout. We had a lot of great administrators, city councilmen, mayor come. So if you came to that, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. They appreciate getting to talk to you and getting to meet you. Oh gosh, I don't even think I can read this book. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. Oh my gosh. And the best thing, whatever, you can read it. Trying to be so inspirational there, and I'm like, what's that saying? Yeah. That's really sad. But yeah, so everyone have a great semester. As always, my door, my desk is open. Leave me a note, send me an email, give me a phone call. We can talk about the legislative session. We can talk about what our team is doing. We have an awesome team this year. Maybe we can talk about you and I need to talk because I want to see all of you there. So check that out. I also posted on the door of the offices a QR code for the form. If you don't want to type in the link or you don't want to copy the link, but I think you all have access to this agenda. You can just click right on that. It should be open. If it's not, send me an email, or I'll probably get about 30,000 drive for access request emails too. But it's all in here, all the information. And if there's something you think I left out or you want to know more about, come to me. We didn't really run into any DEI related questions yesterday at the State House. It doesn't mean we're not going to get any. It doesn't mean We just don't know, there's a lot that don't know that, and I think there's a lot of point rules disappointing for us from the committee, I'll say frankly. So we're working through it, we're trying to figure out what the best route is, and that goes to the legislature too, we don't know what they're going to do, but we'll respond to it in the best way, we know how as an organization. And we'll continue to represent the students, because that's why we're here. So that's it, thank you, everybody. Any questions? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Any questions? Yeah.
So you and I then, what time would you leave and what time would you get back?
So that's on the forward now, it's ready. I guess that.
Hey, at least I asked you a question.
I appreciate that. 88 hours of the time we leave. When I talk to the university relations, we really like to have the students there at 10 so that they can walk around the capital if they want to. And also so that students are back down on the main floor by the time the event starts. We were really close last year about not having students down as legislators started to come out. And I got a text from our state lobby. She's like, where are the students? Where are the students? So anyway, this just gives us extra time to just see the building and do all that before the event starts, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we'll head out right after the event's over 2:30. So we may come back all around 2:30. So any other questions? Thank you, everybody.
I would like to invite the Chief Justice to deliver his report of the judicial. Hi, so I'm the Chief Justice. I've met most of you, but maybe not everybody. And especially in the spring, one of the chief responsibilities of the Chief Justice, is to serve as the election commission. And the election commission comprises of the Chief Justice and the rest of the associate justices. So I wanted to give both updates about how this week went related to the election information assessments, but then also the rest of the timeline moving forward. This week we had two informational meetings, one on Monday from 11 to 1, and another one on Thursday 1 to 4. The idea was to get some varieties that people can come between the classes before class, so that there's availability throughout all of this people to attend these meetings without too much disruption to the state. We had a good amount of people attend both of these sessions, so very excited for the involvement student government has into this election season. Moving into the rest of the season, starting next week is 2 more informational meetings that will be Monday and Thursday, both 7 to 8 p.m. The Thursday one is designed for some, set meetings that occur and to follow such meetings. But the idea is that for those that have busy schedules during the day, this gives them an opportunity to cover in the evenings. They likely have some availability. That'll be down this level, Margaret Union, in the college Ivy. The week following that is those who can't make any of these work or just don't see them or aren't aware of them, just by appointment, they contact me at the Chief Justice email account. Moving after that, after the information meetings complete, the campaign season will start at 6 p.m. on February 12th. Is when formal campaigning can start. During that week, the petitions will be signed and packets will be completed and then turned in by 6 p.m. on that Friday the 16th. Emailed to the Chief Justice, and I interviewed Chief Justice at and campaigning goes from the 12th through the 28th when polls close. On the 24th is the presidential and vice presidential debate at 6 p.m. in the Market Union ballrooms sales. On the 27th and 28th is the actual voting in the polls. Voting starts at 6 a.m. on the 27th, closes at 6 p.m. on the 28th. So it's open for 36 hours though. accessible and mind vehicles. Finance reports will be due on the 28th. At 1 p.m. for senatorial candidates and 6 p.m. for presidential and vice president candidates. Then the announcements of winners of both senatorial and presidential and vice presidential races will be announced at 7 p.m. either in person on Zoom or to follow that. Any questions about that? So I'll continue information. Thank you. Moving on to our final report on Director of Finance.
Yeah, I think they are better, right? It's like.
It's fancy.
Guys, so I'm just, it's gonna be quick, promise, I'm not gonna take too long, maybe I'll really long into this night. So I just wanted to report really quick. This is the approximate contingency rollover from last semester of unspent funds that were allocated but never actually spent. It's about $8,000, which means that we have more money than we thought we were going to, which is always good. The next thing is some budgetary updates. So we decided to go back to requested budgets instead of flat allocations. The flat allocations just weren't working with the lower contingency fund amount. It just wasn't realistic. So the first thing I want to talk about is the proposal to the student fees committee. So I'm going to be doing that on February 28th. That is when I'm going to go in with our presentation about like the amount of money that we're requesting from student fees, why we need the amount of money and stuff like that. The budgetary meeting dates and times are in a couple of weeks. It's the 6th, 7th, and 8th. The 6th is at 6 p.m. in Broad, room 287. 7 is at 1, same room, and then the 8th is at 8 p.m. and that's a Zoom one. Just because I wanted to do a variety of times, and also I wanted to have that Zoom one just so that like it's easier for people not having money in this if they don't want to. The process after the fact, so the application will open February 12th. That's the next Monday after those dates for the budgetary meetings, and then the organizations will turn their budgets by March 6th. That gives them a month. So it gives them time to meet, it gives them time to kind of make a plan, because the committee and I are really looking for detailed budgetary requests, because the more detail we have, the more likely you'll get more funding from us. And then Orify and I will meet and we'll all go over requests, you know, we'll look at every application. We will do all of that fun stuff. And then after the fact, I don't remember if any of you were in Senate at this point, but we did kind of like an open house style way where we met, yeah, she was, where we met with organizations. We kind of just like had like a room down here for like what, like 3 or 4 hours, maybe. And we kind of just like everyone in the room for like a quick like 5-minute meeting where one of us, we all just like sit at the table and go out to one of the members 4 or 5. We basically are just like, this is how much you're getting. If you have any questions, I can answer them to the best. The members would be like, I can answer them to the best of my ability, or they can send them to me and I can answer them. And then after that, once we get the number of student fees, we will make the budget, and then the budget will go to you guys. But that can't happen until we have the definite number of student fees. So last year, there was kind of like a delay with getting that number. So normally our bylaws state that it has to be voted on before the terms. Last year that didn't happen. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But in case it does, like it'll be already known pretty much. Just have to make sure that we have that definite number before we send it out. And then this last thing is not like it's my position, but it's a committee that I sit on, and I helped start this initiative when I was senator. I sit on the textbook advocacy committee, so I'm just and we are looking for new people for next year. Because some people are graduating, so if you're interested, you can contact me, you can talk to Anna, or you can contact Anne Marie. I have linked her email on here, just in case you want to reach out to her directly, she's the head of that committee. And then I have, as always, my information, I'm totally open to meeting. With any clubs, any of you guys, if you need money for any initiatives that you want to do, like, let me know. And then I just leave the funding page in case anyone wants access to that, or if anyone gets any questions from organizations that don't know how to access that, it's on there for you guys. Does anyone have any questions for me? Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to open the floor for a town hall. Does anyone have any questions for the president, chief justice, or either of the two directors,
Or just about anything,
or just without
any complaints?
any? Now is your time to speak.
So we talked about this the last Org by committee, but it was kind of one of those things that was brought up where some senators were kind of confused or felt like they didn't know what certain bills that were being brought up during the Senate were about. And so it's kind of under the assumption of the Org by committee, because we do the due diligence of checking every bill that, you know, fits our bylaws and whatnot. We've already read everything, but we just like to remind all the senators that it's under your job now to read these bills before you show them in the Senate, so that you know what we're talking about, so that you can intelligently vote on the topic at hand, so you can represent the people that you're supposed to represent. So that's pretty much all.
You don't have to read flags.
And going off of that, as like senators, if you want more information, don't be afraid to like say you want more information. Like if the bill you feel like is not like giving you all the information you want, don't be afraid to be like, can I have more information? So, yeah.
I get a lot of information on these applications, but if I put every single piece of information I got on these apps, they would be what, like some of our applications are like 3 or 4 pages, like just with the little text boxes, so they'd be very long. So if you guys are ever curious, just let me know, I can answer any questions. And the committee also, it sees all of these applications, so they can answer questions too.
I would say, is there any further debate or amendment? There is nothing further that anyone would like to say. Let's move on to our first executive order, right? Executive order 2024-27, the appointment of our director of sustainability.
Hello, so we have our appointment for our Director of Sustainability. As you may know, Director Levi, who's our former Director of Sustainability, graduated this past fall. And so the Sustainability Committee here at UNI is wanting a new person in this position to run their meetings and all that. So tonight we have Mia DeLong up for appointment tonight. We chose her because of her commitment on the Sustainability Committee. She has served, I think, 2 semesters in 2 years. 3 semesters on the committee, and then 2 semesters as secretary of the committee. And then she also works on creating a Facebook group called Buy Nothing. And that is where they encourage people to give stuff out for free and not by like doing buy action. So we are looking forward to hopefully having her in this role after the appointment tonight. Mia, you just want to go ahead and introduce yourself and ask you questions.
Yeah, I'm Mia. I studied textiles and apparel and supply chain management here at UNI. And like you said, I'm a part of the Student Sustainability Engagement Committee. I'm also part of Uprising Magazine.
Are there any questions for our nominee? Senator Walsh.
Are there any initiatives you would like to take on if given this position?
Yeah, so, right now, I know that Kerrigan had been focusing a lot on recycling and stuff like that, and that's super important, but I also know that a lot of, students at UNI don't know the outdoor facilities that we have and resources, such as UNI Outdoors, Panther Pond, the Tall Grass Prairie Center, everything that's over by the CEEE, all of those are places that I feel like a lot of people don't know about and can really use as a resource. I have connections with people there, at the Tall Grass Prairie Center. I have Laura Walter, and she just is a former teacher and loves teaching about the prairie and all of that. And it's also just a great place for people to take walks and stuff. So, yeah.
Are there any further questions for the nominee? If not, I'd ask the nominee to step out into a period of the day. They are nominated. They into a flag vote. All in favor? Any abstained? Any opposed? With a vote of 11 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstained, Executive Order 2024-27 is hereby passed.
Promise to uphold and execute
Hold and execute.
the Constitution and bylaws of the Northern Iowa State Government and the duties of my position to the best of my ability,
The duties of my position to the best of my ability.
and pledge to improve the quality of the academic and student life
To improve the quality and academic of the academic and student life
of my constituents at the University of Illinois.
my constituents at the University of Illinois.
Congratulations, Mia.
To our second executive order of the night, Executive Order 2024-28, the appointment of two students to the Chaz Dean Search.
Hello, okay, so this is a process that we typically do not go through. Just because like me go to my university, students to university committee, you just go ahead and send them to it, but this is a requirement that they have for the Dean Search Committee. And so we have two current student government members up for appointment to this committee. It is James Corollas and Katie Campbell, who serves as our director of residence life here at NISG. I do not have any questions or anything for them, if you have any questions, but normally we don't have this type of process, and so this is kind of like up to the Senate on how you want to go about this, but it really just needs an approval from the Senate. So if you want to go yes, no, it's just procedure. So, yeah, I think that's about it. They're both highly respected.
Is there any question for our one nominee here? If not, I'd say, James, if you'd like to step out. So you make one or two nominees. There's no debate. We now move into a flag vote. All in favor? Abstained? Any opposed? We should have set something out with James. Oh, 10 yea. 0 nay, 1 abstained, Executive Order 2024-28 is hereby passed. And I assume that we don't need to spread it. No, because it's not going to go. Moving on to our final Executive Order tonight. Executive Order 2024-29. Associate Justice. I invite the chief justice. So Crystal, Bosley, Associate Justice, reviewed his application, and then we had a meeting. And I found him to be impartial, trustworthy, and honorable with his intent on becoming an Associate Justice while I was doing that. I'll let him introduce himself, and then if you have any questions.
My name's Chris, philosophy major. I'm a senior here. Not really sure what I'm supposed to do, introduce myself, but what do you guys want to know?
Are there any questions for me? If there are no questions, is there a question?
So we're going to ask, what made you be interested?
Well, I'm also like in pre-law with studies, and I wanted to get more involved on campus in general, but I also wanted to do something like government too, I guess. Like, just planning on some like decisions for like law school, and I figured, well, a Supreme Court justice sounds like a really cool title. I'd like to be a judge before being a lawyer. That's what I can do it out of place.
Is there any further questions for our nominee? If not, I'd ask the nominee to please step out. Let's move into a period of debate. So any debate on our nominations? If there is no debate, we now move into a flag and vote. All in favor? Any abstained? Any opposed? With a vote of 10 yea, 0 nay, 1 abstain, Executive Order 2024-29 is hereby passed. I state your name.
It's to uphold and execute the Constitution and bylaws. I must uphold and execute the Constitution and bylaws
Of the Northern Iowa Student Government. And the duties of my position to the best of my ability.
And the duties of my position to the best of my ability.
And pledge to improve the quality of the academic and student life.
Pledge to improve the quality of the academic and student life
Of my constituents, at the University of Northern Iowa.
of my constituents at the University of Northern Iowa.
Moving on to what's not version document, right? Starting with SSB 2024 102. Panther or teacher education and that. Was the registration for our Iowa Student Government, Senator Walsh.
Motion for unanimous consent.
I'm to achieve a flag rate for unanimous consent. All in favor? Any abstained? Any opposed? Unanimous consent is not approved. Continuing on with SSB 2024-102. Teacher education ambassador, but registration to our Northern Iowa Student Government. Is there any debate? If not, vote. Senator Carl.
What is the sole purpose of the teacher education ambassadors? What do they want to do?
It is said. Organization that aims to be the voice of the College of Education and teacher educator program to prospective students and campuses.
That's just broad.
Want me to read the thing? Paragraph. gonna give you permission?
Yes.
Okay. So their whole thing is, I'm gonna just say T, because that's what it says on here.
Right.
Is an organization that aims to be the voice of the College of Education and Teacher Education Program to prospective students and campus visitors. This organization, composed of education majors, provides tours of Schindler Education Center and can answer questions about the college and teacher education program from a current student point of view. Ambassadors represent the College of Education and the teacher education program to alumni, business professionals, and other special campus guests. Additionally, ambassadors serve on panels and help with special UNI visit days. So it's kind of like school businesses program that they have.
There any further debate, Senator Bishop?
I'd like to add to that. So I'm in the College of Businesses, student ambassadors, and yeah, it is kind of what our it's the gentleman that has his initiative where he wants to branch out to the Yep. So it's pretty similar to what he has envisioned for the community colleges. So like if someone in admissions who wants to be a business major of some kind, they can reach out. They have people to reach out to, or current students to talk to, and you can talk to the parents, and you're also there for like tour dates, like the big tour dates. So yeah.
All right. Thank you. Is there any further debate on the vote? If not, we can choose a flag vote. All in favor? Any abstaining? Any opposed? Vote 11 yea, 0 nay, 0 abstain. SSB 2024-102 is hereby passed. Moving on to SSB 2024-103. Sparkle cheerleading is requesting money from our contingency fund to cover the cost of men's basketball tickets, totaling to $750 broken down as such. Is there any debate or amendment on the no debate or amendment? The two a flag vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained? A vote of 11 yea, 0 nay, 0 abstained. SSB 2024-103 is hereby passed. On to SSB 2024-104, Panther Proud, or excuse me, just Proud, is requesting a total of $3,000 from our contingency fund, broken out as such, for their extravaganza. So we debate or amendment on the if not, we need to a flag vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained? One vote 11 yea, 0 nay, 0 abstained. SSB 2024-104 is hereby passed. Moving on to SSB 2024-105. Organizing Feminists is requesting funds to cover the cost of supplies for their event, totaling $120 from the nest. If not, I'm moving to a flag vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained? The vote of 11 yea, 0 nay, 0 abstained. SSB 2024-105 is hereby passed. On to SSB 2024-106. The Dad Cultural Experience is requesting funds to cover the cost of hosting a yoga night, totaling $425, broken down as such. Is there any debate or amendment on the? There's no debate or amendment, we now move on to a placard vote. All in favor? Abstained? Opposed? Vote of 11 yea, 0 nay, 0 abstain, SSB 2024-106. Is hereby passed. On to our penultimate non-controversial vote of the night. SSB 2024-107. Composer collective is requesting registration to our Northern Iowa student government. Is there any debate on the debate on the? If not, we move on to a placard vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained? Vote of 11 yea, 0 nay, 0 abstained. SSB 2024-107 is hereby passed. Our last non-controversial bill of the night, SSB 2024-108. Club baseball is requesting funds to cover the cost of waiting in the spring. Probably $250. Yes, broken down as such. Is there any debate or amendment on the bill? If not, now we want to get placard vote. All in favor? Any abstained? Any opposed? Vote of 11 yea, 0 nay, 0 abstained. SSB 2024-108 is hereby passed. Are controversial bills. Starting with SSB 2024-95, amending the Northern Iowa Student Government bylaws. The reason why this is in blue is because we amended it last time. It was originally on there, but I decided to put it in my next. Decided to use. Senator Walsh.
Motion for unanimous consent.
We have a second. We don't have one last time. Okay. We now move into a placard vote for unanimous consent. Favor. Any abstained? Any opposed? We now move into unanimous consent. Moving on to 30 debate or amendment on the bill. If not, SSB 2024-95 is hereby passed. Moving on to SSB 2024-96, amending our Northern Iowa Student Government bylaws. And this at the end of or Tuesday. Any debate or amendment on the bill? If not, SSB 2024-96 is hereby passed. Our second reading of SSB 2024-97, amending our Northern Iowa Student Government bylaws. Adding this element. So there any debate or amendment? If not, SSB 2024-97 is hereby passed. On to SSB 2024-98. If not, SSB 2024-98 is hereby passed. Moving on to SSB 2024-99. Amending our Rhode Island student government bylaws. Adding. Is there any debate? Amendment on our second reading? If not, SSB 2024-99 is hereby passed. On to our penultimate bill of the night. SSB 2024-100. Added text to the bill. Is there any debate or amendment? If not, I forgot to mention this for the audience. You guys have noticed I fixed the I checked out the amendment last time. But if there is no debate or amendment on the bill, SSB 2024-100 is hereby passed. And our final bill of the night, SSB 2024-101. Did not amend last time. There's no debate or amendment on the bill. SSB 2024-101 is hereby passed. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Meeting, there's no second. So.